Hey, Christ Covenant family, just a couple of updates this week as we are, as a church, looking ahead to God's great global mission. Of course, we've been talking about missions here for a few weeks at Christ Covenant, and obviously our hope was to have a lot of our missions partners from all over the world come to be with us this weekend. Sadly, just because of the coronavirus and the travel restrictions and just the meeting restrictions that are taking place, they're not going to be able to come, and we're going to have to change our plans a little bit. We had planned on having some events on Thursday night, a men's gathering, a ladies' gathering, parish gatherings throughout the weekend, and then a big packing event on Saturday night. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to have any of those gatherings. We'll be rescheduling them in the coming months. But I was actually thinking today, as I just came to realize that none of this would be happening this week, and I've been looking forward to it for so many weeks, for so many months, really. But I came to realize today, really the reason we do these things, the reason that we even have the missions conference, is to stir our hearts toward the mission of God. And one thing that the coronavirus has done is the urgency that we've approached it with. We're realizing that we are a part of this big thing that's going on has just reminded me that, all the time, we are, as Christians, a part of even a greater mission and something that's even more urgent. As frightening as disease is, we actually all have a greater problem, and that great problem is the sinfulness of man, the sinfulness of all humankind. There's only one cure for this, and of course that is the gospel of Jesus Christ. And Jesus has entrusted us, Christians, to take this gospel to the ends of the earth. So the very thing that's making us cancel a lot of the events for the missions conference, I hope will be the thing that motivates us as a church to be more bold in our presentation of the gospel and more passionate about the Great Commission. And so the things that we're going to be asking of you, that we were going to be asking of you throughout the weekend, we're still asking of you. Number one is we want you as a church to engage with mission trips. We want you to go on mission trips around the world. And Sunday during our worship service, we're going to be asking you to digitally engage with signing up for mission trips. You can actually do it right now on our webpage under the events tab. We also want you to be giving. We as a church, we're committed to giving a big percentage, more than 10%. This year it's between 10 and 12% of our offering, of our church budget to the global mission of God. And I just encourage you to continue to be generous to Christ Covenant as we continue to be generous to partners around the world. And the other thing that we want you to do, of course, is to pray. In the above email, the email that's attached to this video, we're giving you several opportunities to engage with prayer for our missions partners in particular. On Sunday, of course, we will be talking about all of these things as we gather to worship. Similar to how we did last week, of course, we want to honor the group restrictions that our government's putting in place and asking for us to follow. So in terms of how big those gatherings need to be, whether they're 10 or 50, we'll let you know by the end of the week. But some people may gather in homes, you may gather with your family. A few of us will be gathering here at the Collective for a worship service that, in the same way as we did last week, will be streamed out, and we can virtually gather together on Sunday at 10 a.m. A couple other points that I want to make, though, just in light of everybody's thoughts and emotions about this coronavirus situation. It seems that the best thing to do is to stay kind of isolated, and that can maybe be interpreted that right now we're being passive. But I just want to encourage you, in the time of a crisis, it's not a time to be passive. It's actually a time to be active. Now, active may mean not engaging with the world as you normally do. Active may mean social distancing. But active may also mean figuring out creative ways to do work and to help others. Active may also mean, even for your businesses and for your companies, figuring out new ways to accomplish the goals that you have. I really believe that if we lean into this in a creative and an active way, God can actually do a lot through our efforts. Another thing that we're really encouraging you toward is just, as Blake said on Sunday, a hopeful helpfulness. We are hopeful in the midst of this crisis, and we as Christians want to be very helpful. We're still collecting food items here that we'll be delivering to food banks. If you want to bring some food by the Collective, We launched an offering on Sunday, and you guys gave in an amazing way. You overwhelmed us with how much you gave, and we'll be using that to, first of all, help people that are members of our church that cannot work during this time of quarantine. And also, we're going to be using it to help people that are facing eviction all over our city. So I encourage you to continue to be generous to that. It's on the webpage under Give. There is a coronavirus crisis offering tab there. We also encourage you to be a good neighbor to your friends. That may mean offering childcare to somebody who has to go into work because school's been canceled and they have nothing to do with their child. That may mean helping an elderly person in your neighborhood to run errands for them and to care for them in some way. It may mean 100 different things. And so I just want to encourage you to stay active during this time, to be hopefully helpful, and to continue to hope in Christ. Remember that His kingdom is forever. All the kingdoms of this world are very temporary, but the kingdom of Christ is forever. And so as we find our hope in His strong and eternal and good kingdom, we can do a lot of good for this place and this world that we find ourselves in right now. That's my prayer and hope for all of us, and we love you.